When you walk into a restaurant abroad, you might think you are being polite. You smile, say thank you, and leave a tip. Yet, within the first 30 seconds of sitting down, you could inadvertently offend your host. That is because politeness is not a universal language. The very same action, sticking chopsticks upright in a bowl of rice, eating with your left hand, or ordering a cappuccino after dinner, might get you kicked out of a restaurant in one country while being considered the norm in another. Today, we will explore 5 dining faux pas that travelers frequently commit and learn how to avoid being perceived as rude by locals. Rule number 1, the left hand, the forgotten hand at the dinner table. In India, the Middle East, and many African nations, eating with one's hands is a tradition spanning millennia. However, there is an invisible boundary. Only the right hand is permitted to touch the food. The reason lies in an ancient custom. In many of these cultures, the left hand is reserved for personal hygiene, specifically for cleaning oneself after using the restroom. Placing your left hand into a communal dish is not merely rude, it is considered unclean, a direct insult to your dining companions. In southern India, this rule is even stricter. You should not even let your left hand touch your plate, not even to steady it. If you are left-handed, locals will generally be understanding of a tourist. However, in rural areas, you may still draw disapproving glances. The simplest advice? Practice using your right hand before your trip. Rule number 2, chopsticks and a bowl of rice, a seemingly harmless combination. Imagine you are dining at a ramen shop in Tokyo. You want to take a sip of tea or pick up some more food. Instinctively, you stick your chopsticks straight upright into the rice bowl for convenience. Don't. Never do that. In Japan, chopsticks stuck vertically into a bowl of rice are known as tatebashi. This image mirrors the ritual offering of rice to the deceased during Buddhist and Shinto funerals. Specifically, the incense sticks placed upright in a bowl of rice before the altar. It is a symbol of death and final separation. By doing this at the dinner table, you are unwittingly introducing funeral imagery into someone else's meal. The Japanese reaction won't be anger, it will be silence, a silence heavier than any verbal rebuke. The correct way to place your chopsticks is either horizontally on a chopstick rest or laid parallel across the rim of the bowl, pointing to the left. Rule number 3. The fork, that most familiar of Western utensils, plays a completely different role in Thailand. When eating pad thai or fried rice in Bangkok, if you lift the fork directly to your mouth, you are committing a faux pas that strikes Thai people as odd. They won't say anything, but in their minds, you are using the utensil incorrectly. In Thailand, the fork never goes into your mouth. It serves only one function, pushing food onto the spoon. It is the spoon that carries the food to your mouth. This tradition dates back to the reign of King Rama IV, when Thais encountered Western cutlery but deemed it unnecessary. They adapted the practice, retaining the fork as an auxiliary tool while keeping the spoon as the primary utensil. The only exceptions are dishes not served with rice, such as desserts or fruit, where you may use the fork directly. Rule number 4 concerns making noise at the table, something most of us are taught from childhood to avoid. In the West, belching at the dinner table is considered one of the rudest things you can do. But in China, a gentle burp after a meal carries a completely different meaning. It is a compliment to the chef. This stems from a traditional culinary philosophy. Belching signifies that you are full and that the food was so delicious your body had to release air to make room for more. It may sound strange to Western ears, but for the older generation in China, it is the most genuine expression of satisfaction. However, and this is important, this custom is gradually changing in major cities like Shanghai and Beijing. Younger Chinese people, especially in upscale restaurants, no longer belch in public. So, don't mistake this for a free pass to belch at every Chinese dining table. Rule number 5, and the one that confuses many Western travelers the most, comes from Italy itself, the heart of European cuisine. There are 2 things you absolutely should not do in Italy. 1. Order a cappuccino after 11 a.m. And 2. Cut your spaghetti with a knife. Let's start with the cappuccino. In Italy, milk-based coffee, whether it's a cappuccino or a cafe latte, is strictly for breakfast. Not after lunch, and certainly not after dinner. Italians believe that milk is heavy and hard to digest, and consuming it after a meal disrupts digestion. Order a cappuccino at 3 p.m., and you'll likely get a look of pity from the waiter. Instead, order un café, a shot of black espresso, perhaps with a spoonful of sugar if you like. That is how Italians finish a meal. As for spaghetti, never, ever cut it. For Italians, cutting pasta with a knife ruins the dish. Spaghetti is meant to be twirled, slowly, with a fork, against the rim of the plate or on a large spoon. If you want shorter noodles, order rigatoni or penne. 5 rules, 5 countries. And the same lesson: respect doesn't follow a single mold. When entering a new culture, the most polite thing you can do isn't to impose your own habits. It is to observe, to listen, and to be willing to relearn even the most obvious things. Have you ever accidentally broken any of these rules? Or do you know of any other peculiar dining customs around the world? Share them in the comments below. Thank you for your time. See you in the next story.